2 weeks ago, we met the new generation of Bnei Israel, the generation that was going to go into the land to create the society that represents God in this world. But this generation has to go through some transitions in order to become ready for that grand mission. The transition it has to go through is first and foremost is in terms of their leadership. 2 weeks ago in Parshat Chukat, we learned that the leaders of the previous generation are not able to continue in their roles. Miriam and Aaron pass away, and Moshe is told because of the Chet at Nei Merivah that he's no longer able to continue as their leader. At the end of this week's parsha, we meet Yehoshua. Yehoshua is going to be the new leader, the one who brings the Bnei Israel into the land. Now, why is Yehoshua chosen? And the question is even stronger when you look at the beginning of this week's parsha. We meet a prime choice, Pinchas, the namesake of this week's parsha. Pinchas is the one who stops the wrongdoings of Bnei Israel, is able to stand up for the rules of the Torah and the laws of the Torah and make the wrong right. Why was Pinchas not chosen? If you actually look closely at this week's parsha, though, we don't have 2 leaders that are spoken about, we actually have 3. The third leader was Zimri himself. Now Zimri was the leader of Shevet Shimon. He decided to go and take a princess from Moab and do an act in front of everybody around him that was seen as despicable. Why would Zimri do such a thing? Wasn't he the head of Shevet Shimon? Wasn't he a very righteous individual? The Midrash picks up on this issue and answers an incredible answer. It says that if you look closely at what was happening, there was no actual punishment for everybody going after the Midianite girls and doing the Avodah Zarah of Baal Peor. Rather, what happened was Hashem told Moshe, gather all the leaders and take actions into your own hand and bring justice. And the leaders were supposed to create courts and go after those who were doing who were sinning. Now, what happened? All of Bnei Israel came to Zimri and said, how can you allow Moshe to start killing us? You have to protect us. So what did Zimri do? He took a woman who was not Jewish and he brought her in front of Moshe in order as a symbol to show the entire world that, look, I'm doing an act that according to Moshe Rabbeinu deserves death. However, Moshe Rabbeinu was the one who did the exact same thing. He took Tzipporah, the daughter of Yitro, and he said to Moshe Rabbeinu, look, if you could do this act and not be killed, then all of Bnei Israel should be saved. That sounds like an incredible leader. A leader that takes the side of his people. A leader that stands up for justice. But if you think about it, what is Zimri doing? Zimri, as the leader of Shevet Shimon, is not trying to do what's right for Shimon. He's doing what's right for himself. He's finding himself in the place of a leader that sides with his people in order to look as if he's more popular. He takes the popular stance as opposed to the right stance. On the other hand, we have Pinchas. Pinchas is the total opposite of Zimri. Pinchas is an individual, a leader who stands with what's right and what's wrong, regardless of what the people think. And therefore he killed Zimri and he killed the woman that he was with. That's Pinchas. We have 2 paradigms, 2 opposites. We have the leader that sides with the people, and we have the leader that sides with the law. Now we come to Yehoshua. Rashi in this week's parsha notices that when Moshe asks Hashem for a new leader, he asks for one simple thing. He calls Hashem Elokei Aruchot, the God of the spirits. He's looking for a leader that understands how people are different, how each individual has their own way of looking at the world. What Moshe is looking for is not a leader that only sides with the people or only sides with the law. He's looking for a leader that's able to bring the people in their own way, in their own individual differences and perspectives to the righteous path of following the Torah. That's the leader that we need. We don't need a leader who only sides with the Torah, and we don't need a leader that only sides with the people. We need a leader that's able to make the connection between them. And that's the leadership of Yehoshua. But in order to understand that side of Yehoshua's unique, special way of leading the people, we first have to meet the differences between Pinchas and Zimri, and that's where we come to the top of the triangle, to Yehoshua, who's able to take the Torah and the people and combine them and synthesize them together. Shabbat Shalom.